Hello guys, this is Ronan Itzkovich from skillsofthetrade.com. I'm here with the weekly market analysis for Monday, September the 30th, as well as some stock picks for this week to show you. Starting off with the SPX, the S&P 500 index, we are still on an upward trend, which is a good sign. We have broken through resistance over here, going upwards, and we have been stopped in this at this previous resistance area. And as I have talked about a couple of weeks ago, I was expecting the price to come down and check for support on this support line, which is what it has been doing for the last week. So this week I am expecting the price to continue bouncing off this area. If we stretch a Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom to the top, there is still a possibility of the price coming down and touching down on support, which is what I think will happen before it will continue up. So I do expect the price perhaps to come down a little bit this week, bounce around it, and continue up from there. However, because it's the month of October we're coming into, I would not take big risks, because in the past the month of October has been known to be a bit of a difficult month, so I would take smaller risks than usual. Now for the trading ideas I have for you, I just want to go back and recap on one of the stocks I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, which was Snap Incorporation, SNAP. I talked about this stock, and you can see that we are in a nice upward trend. We stretch a Fibonacci retracement tool, and we can see that we have been bouncing on this support, which is also the 38.2% Fibonacci. Here is the support line, and I wanted to see a false break with a bullish MACD divergence, and this is what we saw. And our entry was this small gap. You can see it better on the hourly chart. This gap up was our entry into the stock. If you look at the weekly chart, you can see that we have a nice strong hammer reversal candlestick, and that's also a good sign for continued movement upwards. So if you did enter into this trade, that's a good thing. Our first take profit was up at this level at around $18, and if you're still in it and holding into it, I believe the price will continue to go up to around the $19.75 mark date, or around $20 up to that before exiting. Now the next stock I have for you this week is actually a very famous one, which is Beyond Meat. And the IPO was several months ago, and we've been doing a nice rally up. Now coming down for a correction. If you look at the daily chart and stretch a Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom to the top of this rally, you can see that we came down to the 50% Fibonacci, and we've been bouncing up and down on it, while the MACD histogram has been doing bullish divergence. That's a good sign for an upward movement. And just on Thursday, we had a nice gap up from this false break. Nice gap up. That's our entry for signal for entering into this trade. So Monday, if the price is still around this area, you can still enter into this trade, and I would expect the price to go up to around the $230 for the first take profit, And if you'd like, you can continue to hold this stock for the longer term and probably to the $300 mark or even more. So that looks pretty good for this week. Now, another stock I have for you is NGD. NGD is another stock that I've talked to you a couple of weeks ago, and we can see that we have in the daily chart a nice rally up, followed by a correction or a pullback. Stretching the Fibonacci retracement tool, we can see that the price has been jumping or bouncing on this 50% Fibonacci line, which is also our support line. And what I did say a few weeks ago is I wanted to see a false break on this line, which is what happened this week. We see a nice false break through this line, and this also happens to be the 200 moving average line right here, which is also a good sign. What I would like to see before entering is that I would like to see a nice strong reversal candlestick on this line, closing well above it, or a gap up, closing well above the reversal, so the support line. Before entering, our stop loss would be below this false break, and our first take profit will be around $1.50, and you can continue perhaps to even $2.50 if you want to stay. So only if we see a nice reversal candlestick, I would enter above it and place on a stop loss below it. Otherwise, I would continue to wait and see what happens. Lastly, I have BAC, the Bank of America stock to show you. Looking at the weekly chart, we have been on a trading range, meaning the price has been bouncing up and down between these two support and resistance line. In the last few weeks, we have been having a nice rally, and now coming back for a pullback or a correction to this rally. If I stretch a Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom to the top, you can see that the price has come down nicely to 38.2% and been bouncing up. And what I would like to see, if you go down to the hourly chart, is I would like to see the price coming down. This is the first time coming down for a second touchdown, seeing a nice reversal candlestick on the second touchdown. Just as we have here, we have this bullish reversal candlestick, and I would like to see another nice reversal candlestick on the 38.2 or a gap up before entering. Our entry will be above the reversal candlestick, stop loss below it, and the first take profit will be at around $30.20, and the second take profit will be at the high of this major resistance and around $30.70. So that's all, guys, I have for you for this week. If you enjoyed my content, please let me know by commenting below. And if you would like to learn more information about how my trading strategies, technical analysis, money management, and much more, I've written a book called Stock Trading 101. You can find it on Amazon, and I will place the link in the description below. I hope you have a good week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.